That's right. Welcome to the Saturday because it's time for some Ringside rumors. Three top rumors for you, ladies and gentlemen. So, without further ado, we're just gonna jump straight into it. Our first top rumor: according to Fightful Select, WWE wants to portray the Women's Championship on the same level as the WWE Universal Championship, and that's why the title Asuka is holding looks so much like the one Roman Reigns is holding. Listen, okay, I'm just gonna be honest. All right, I don't care. I don't care about this. I don't care about anything because Charlotte Flair's back. So nobody has to care. It's fine, everyone. Nobody has to care about this piece of news because it's not going to matter. I mean, none of it matters, to be totally honest with you. Charlotte Flair is back, and she immediately just leaned into the fact that, hey, I don't have to do anything. I can just be Charlotte Flair and have my veneers and my blonde hair, and I can go woo, and then I can just get the championship. And, you know, Asuka can just be like, okay, that's perfectly fine, and everybody can be like, yeah, that's perfect. Sorry, that's perfectly fine. I see nothing wrong with that. So, yeah, man, I am so over the moon about this bit of news, you know. Man. No, this is good. Because I think what this means is that they're definitely going to be putting a little bit more stock into the Women's Championship. I think the fact that they are essentially trying to make this the same level means that okay, have they been taking the Women's Championship seriously? I mean, it really depends on who's holding it, to be fairly honest with you, and also, like, you know, the type of storyline that they're in and everything like that. So I don't really want to sit here and be like, oh, you know, finally we're going to get more, like, serious storylines. I think the storylines themselves are roughly going to stay the same, but I think the overall prestige of the title, I think what they're going to do, the hope is what they're going to do is they're maybe going to go down the route of Gunther, and they're probably going to give it to someone. And that person's going to hold it for a really long time, and then there's going to be a bunch of different contenders, and then, you know, sometimes they're going to defend it on not SmackDown, but, you know, sometimes they're going to defend it on the show, and then sometimes they're going to defend it on the pay-per-view. I would love for that to be Asuka. That'd be great if it was Asuka. You know, what's the difference between how the title has been portrayed now and how the title is going to be portrayed in the future? I mean, I'm not saying that the title wasn't on the same level as the Universal Championship, but what level was it on then? I mean, I thought that was kind of the whole point. It was the same. It was the Universal Championship except for a lady. Like, that was the only difference. So what exactly is, like, the new, like, way that it's, like, going to be, like, shown on camera? You know what I mean? Like, I said about the whole Intercontinental Championship thing, but, like, is that not how it should be treated anyway? I'm so confused. I guess we're just gonna have to find out, you know, what that means, I guess, because thinking about it now, I don't necessarily know what else they could possibly do other than, like I said, have someone win it and then they just defend it and they have, like, a bunch of cool matches, you know. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Our next top rumor: WWE claims there are, quote, a few returns in the coming months at WWE, as well as, quote, a couple of title updates and talent repackaging. I have no idea who that could potentially mean. I have no idea. I mean, that could literally mean anybody. It could be Mia Yim, and, you know, it could be, I don't know, Bobby Lashley. It could be Bray Wyatt. You know, like, there's a bunch of different people, you know, that could potentially mean. A few returns in the coming months. Again, I have no idea who that can mean. I have no idea. You know, maybe they're talking about Drew McIntyre. You know, maybe they're talking about a couple tag teams, or maybe a few women wrestlers or something. I genuinely have no idea. It's really hard to say at this point, but that's a good sign simply because it means that we're going to be getting, you know, newer things. And it's not so much the newer thing, it's more so like now we've got, like, fresh, you know, ideas and, like, fresh wrestlers and stuff like that, which means fresh storylines and fresh matches. We're definitely gonna have to wait and see who ends up stopping on by and who gets repackaged, and if the people who come by in the coming months are the ones who are going to get repackaged. So it's hard to say who that's going to be, but all we have to do is wait. Our final top rumor: Bryan Danielson has become more important as of late in AEW's creative process, says the Wrestling Observer newsletter. It was said when Khan is booking ideas and he's in the room with him, he pushes Khan to think harder and improves his thinking, like he adds more enthusiasm to Khan. That's good. That's what you want. You don't want somebody to just sort of sit there, right? And you're like, oh, is this a good idea? And they're like, yeah. Or if you're like, is this a good idea? And they're like, no. Like, you need somebody to like you come up with something and then someone's like, okay, like Alyssa Edwards, but why would you say that? You know what I mean? Like, you need to have somebody be there and, like, question what it is that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And, like, I like that. Push you to think harder. Like, okay, like, but how would that make sense in the next like 2 months? You know what I mean? Like, oh, why would his character do that when last week his character was doing this? Like, I like that. I like that someone is there in his ear making him, you know, like really sit down and actually think about the storylines and stuff and like the characters and everything. And I think that that is definitely going to pay dividends. I don't necessarily know how far down it goes. I don't know necessarily what he's asking him specifically and what he's making him think about, but I mean, I assume it's along the lines of like, you know, what I just said and everything like that. So I'm very happy to hear this, and I'm looking forward to how all the storylines are going to play out. Starting with our minor rumors, our first minor rumor, they say Rhea Ripley is indeed expected to receive a new title with a new name. This was all done in part to clear up the situation with the titles following the draft. So, I was watching JD's stream. I think it was the review of SmackDown. And he said a lot of things. He yelled a lot of things, too. He was talking about how I think, if I remember correctly, he was like, there should be one title. There should be one women's title. And then he was like, what is the women's champion? Or what is Rhea Ripley's title going to be called? And that is a good question. Because if you got the women's championship, and that is technically supposed to be the universal championship, except for lady, then, sorry. What exactly is Rhea Ripley's championship supposed to be? I'm a little bit confused on that as well. I'm not as angry. Should I be angrier? I don't really know. But I don't know, man. This is so... But that's apparently the reason why that... I literally just read that. Anyway, it's just going to be some dumb title with the WWE just slapped on the front, okay? And that's gonna be it. So I mean, there's nothing to say because there's nothing to expect other than the same thing. That's pretty much it. Like, it's just gonna be white strap WWE title, done and dusted. Like you nothing else to say. Our next minor rumor: Fightful says they asked WWE about Elias possibly signing a new deal and never heard back. The last word going around was his contract expired in late 2022. So I don't know if that means he's coming back. I genuinely have no idea. Every time I hear about this, I say the same thing over and over again. They could always renegotiate because it's true. They could always go somewhere else, which is true. They could just not do anything and go and be, I don't know, a blacksmith, which is true. You know, like no one is on like a set path, especially after their contract is up. And like, if they can't come to a deal, they're not just going to do the thing where WWE is like, hold on a second, where do you think you're going? You know, like that doesn't happen anymore. That's not how it is. That's how it used to be. And when it was like that, nobody was happy. Not a single person. Everybody was just there getting paid, not doing anything, wishing they could go somewhere else and just waiting until their contract ended, you know? But Elias, I mean, you could do something with him. To be honest with you, he's got the character, you know, where like he could definitely be used in many different facets, but that's just me. I'm not WWE, so I can't really say anything other than that. They haven't really heard anything, which is good, bad, it's bad. I don't know. Like I always say, we can't really do anything. We have to wait and, you know, keep your ear to the streets. Wait for like an article to come out, and if it says anything about Elias and where he ends up going, then boom, there we go. We'll figure it, or you know, we'll have it all figured out. Our final minor rumor: The Observer says Stardom informed them they won't have any talent at Forbidden Door this year, and that they were not contacted by AEW at any point for the show. That makes sense. If I'm AEW, I'm not talking to anybody else. Not because I've got some sort of affiliation with NJPW, not that, but because we did Forbidden Door 1. It was great. A couple people got injured, which sucks, but you know, show still went on. All right, here's the second one. This is the second one. And we're still with NJPW. Great. Not that many people are injured. Okay, cool. We've got a lot of matches already booked. Great. We tried to do Mercedes Moné. She kind of got injured. All right, that fell through. Whatever. It's fine. It's okay. It's not that big of a deal. Don't cry over spilled milk. We're fine. We're going to keep moving. Like with CM Punk, right? Let's do the third one. Let's get past the third one. Let's have the third pay-per-view done and dusted in the books. And then we'll come together, sit down, you know, we'll turn the spotlight on and we'll be like, all right, who else should be part of Forbidden Door? Because it's called Forbidden Door. So that just means that you can put anybody in there. Impact, you know, Stardom, Progress. What else? My brain. I had like a bunch yesterday and I can't, doesn't matter. The point is, you could throw a lot of different people in there. Forbidden Door doesn't necessarily mean it has to be NJPW. And I think, if I'm Tony Khan, that's the idea that I'm going with at least. But I could always be wrong about his mindset on, you know, who and what and how and where and why. You know what I mean? So I think what they're doing is they're just going to go with this do this, done, lock it away, go to the third one. On the way to the third one, be like, all right, how can we expand? So I could be wrong, but that seems like the best idea. And if I'm Tony Khan, that's probably what I would do. What did we talk about? WWE wants to portray the Women's Championship on the same level as the WWE Universal Championship. I don't know what that means for Rhea Ripley's championship then. I don't know what that means. That's why I don't know what that means. Because you've got, and the Universal Championship is the most important title right now. You've got the top guy holding the Universal Championship. And you've got Seth Rollins holding the World Championship. Everyone and their grandmother is like, this is the, what's it called? The consummation. Isn't that what's called? The title where it's like, hey, you didn't win that one, so take this one. You know what I mean? Like, no one is looking at the World Heavyweight, at least for right now, no one's looking at the World Heavyweight Championship as its own prestigious standalone title. Every single person is like, well, I don't want to say that, not every single person. A lot of people are like, the World Heavyweight Championship isn't really that popular. And it's just like, so what does that mean for Rhea Ripley's championship? I don't necessarily know. It's expected to receive a new title with a new name. I don't know if that means that it's going to be any better. I have no idea. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Also, it's not really going to, it's more than likely not going to sound and look that good. Like, it's a white strap WWE. It's just so dumb, man. It's so dumb. I hate it. Few returns in the coming months, as well as a couple of title updates and talent repackaging. I have no idea who that could be. Could be Bianca Belair. Could be Baron Corbin. You know, could be someone from NXT. Could be someone going to NXT. We're just going to have to wait and see, because there's way too many variables and factors in the air right now to really nail anything down. Fightful says they asked about Elias. I don't know what Elias is doing. Again, Elias really seems like a great guy to have on the roster, and it definitely seems like he could be in a lot of... You could put him on NXT. Boom! Done! Third brand. You're trying to expand it anyway. That seems like a great... I don't know, though, man. His contract expired late 2022. Nobody's really heard from him since, apparently, you know. So, I guess just wait and see what happens. That's literally all we can do. I'm glad that Danielson is becoming more important. He's in Tony Khan's ear. He's asking Tony Khan questions, making Tony Khan think. That's what you need. I feel like if somebody did that for Vince, we'd have a lot more, meaty storylines. You know what I mean? But not to dwell on Vince for too long. I like that this is happening with Khan. I think that this is definitely great for him, especially in the near future, and I can't wait to see what the storylines are looking like. And sticking with AEW, they did not get in touch with Stardom, which again is fine. Like I said, they're going through Forbidden Door 2, okay? Once that's done, potentially they're going to get the ball rolling on trying to get more. Maybe not Stardom. I don't know. It really depends. Maybe they're like waiting to see who's going to call. Maybe they're calling them. You know what I mean? It's really hard to say at this point, so we just got to wait and see for the next Forbidden Door, because we can't really say anything right now, because obviously the second one hasn't happened yet. Folks, that's going to do it for this episode. Hopefully everybody has a wonderful tonight and a wonderful tomorrow, and as always, big hugs all around.